So we're just chilling here by the little creek, but you cannot see the creek. It's just a brook. I don't even know what the difference is between a brook and a creek.
I think brooks are man-made.
So this is a break. Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess we did edit it a little bit, so it's a break.
What a crook.
Yeah, let's call it a crook.
I think I'll call it a crook with a break. Yeah, so it's a little windy, and today we are gonna drink another Mr Mopar super duper thing. Is a 2006 EoT tea horse cake. EoT stands for something, and I don't remember what it is, and I bet the T is because of tea. What do you want to bet is EoT? Emperor of tea? Empire of tea?
Emperor of Taiwan.
Of Taiwan?
I don't know.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sure tea is because of tea. So this thing is about to boil right here. It's just starting to have the, what are they called, these little bubbles? Shrimp eyes?
Shrimp eye.
Yeah, well, that's coming from Global Tea Hut kind of a thing that he said, but I don't know who else have said that. And we're gonna do a rinse. This is a Sheng pu'er. It's an H pu'er, 26. I mean, 2006. So 25 minus 6 is what?
I don't know. I'm not.
God, come on, 25 minus
I'm not
6.
in the mood for math right now.
20. That's
19.
not even math, man.
19.
19. Yeah. So here it is, bubbling and doing its thing. This is enough temperature for sure. I'm using a butane stove or burner just to get that rinsing and warm up the whole thing. I get some kind of cold out here, so put some hot water on the lid, and that rinse is gonna go in a gang get some of that, because I actually decided that instead of leaving a big piece of the cake, I was just gonna kind of like mush it around, and a lot of stuff is gonna be broken in that process. So that's the nose there on that gang. Very different than the leaves. So the leaves didn't really smell like anything. I smelled them earlier. Yeah.
What did you say this was?
This is a Sheng. This is an old Sheng. It's called tea horse cake. We'll put more information in writing since I don't even know. Okay, so I got that old book kind of from there. I mean, what you get from there?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, similar old book, but
that classic old H Sheng kind of thingy, right?
Yeah, aged papyrus leaves.
Papyrus.
Papyrus, the thing they use for paper.
Yeah. That's like Egyptian stuff. You hear about the Egyptian stuff? That the pyramids have some stuff on there that people were like, nah, it's not there. And now they're like, there's a whole thing going on there.
Yeah, with the copper wire, I mean?
No, there's big structures actually under the pyramids. I think I'm gonna have to do something about this because the wind is just making it freak out. So it's gonna be on camera a little bit, but whatever. And what I want you to like see is the difference between,
okay,
yeah, just smell the leaves. Is what do you smell in the leaves? It's different, right?
It smells like
so it's a lot sweeter for me. I pick up some sweetness, like a little fruity sweetness in it.
It smells like grandma putting honey in her tea. That's what it smells like to me.
Like honey on the tea.
Yeah.
I mean, it smells like the tea with honey, or it smells like your grandma,
Smells like tea with
or
honey.
like some random grandma
Smells like a random grandma putting tea in the honey. That
putting tea
smell
in the
when you're
honey.
hanging out with a grandma.
You put tea in the honey or honey on the tea. I just gotta be specific with these things. You know,
Putting-
people are very into this, and they want to be specific. There you go. There's some.
It smells like a grandma putting honey in the tea. The action of it.
The action of it. Damn. I would say it's woody, like dry wood, kind of like firewood. You know,
It reminds me a little bit of like
bit smoky.
the aroma of like the leaves around here, kind of.
Speak a little louder so that.
It smells like the aroma of the leaves around the creek here.
So
Tastes like
smells of the taste like that.
Tastes like it.
That kind of like wet old leaf kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know the leaf piles when we were moving them around and that kind of smell.
That's how it smells.
It's woody, so it has some barky, woody kind of character there. Definitely getting notes of aged Sheng. You know, it's that peculiar kind of old furniture, old book. You know, when you stick your nose and in the book and between the pages there, and is that very specific kind of an old book. Really nice smell. So I'm gonna be very slow at pouring, meaning that I have a very tight gap on the lid. And the reason is because there's a lot of floating stuff in there. You know, I broke it up and there's not a lot of loose, there's not a lot of whole leaves in there. It's like very dusty.
May I smell the dry leaves?
Yeah, sure. There's a whole, what is that?
It's hard to place.
Yeah, but I've smelled this before, you know, besides the tea.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to like place. It's like it smells like muddy leaves, but it's not muddy leaves.
It's like a rusty nail on a piece of, like a rusty nail, you know, like an old piece of metal or something.
Can't really smell the tea, but
Okay, so this tea definitely, you can taste the age in it. No, that's what I was saying. I couldn't taste the leaves. You can go ahead. You can bring your thing forward after you're done drinking.
Yeah.
Getting closer. I definitely taste astringency in it, so it has still somewhere to go. It's not completely done growing up, but I would leave it as it is. I would stop. There is some subtle sweetness to it, kind of like that in the process of doing this they did with it. Oh, remember I said once when we're like, I tend to do that, withering. Oh, remember, I just cut my words in half. Remember that once I was saying that I could taste that that Sheng had been withered because of how there was sweetness in it.
yes.
Like the sweetness of white tea. Well, I didn't know this, but it is part of the processing, you know. This, besides fixing, and there is part of the processing of raw Sheng, you know, like we were receiving that time. You know, they can extend the withering to whatever they want, so it has a specific flavor. So that one tea, I don't remember which one it was, that had the taste of withering in it. I wasn't that off with that assessment.
Mm.
So I think I will put the water at this temperature and then I'm gonna boil. a full mouth sip really gave me that slight bitterness that I don't know if I want to place it as astringency. Like I said earlier, it is not astringent. It doesn't dry my mouth.
It doesn't. No.
What do you perceive there on your cup?
You know what? It made me think about, like the leaves we had to rake. I don't know if there are any around here, but the leaves we had to rake during the fall tasted like,
I place that flavor like in the back of my mouth, right?
yeah, like under
I
the
know
tongue.
exactly what you're talking about. That smell,
Especially when they're like wet and
when they're wet.
when you move them around, and that smell of the dirt and the leaves being soaked in the rain. That smell
Yeah,
comes to mind when I taste it.
yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I love that smell.
It's good. I'm not saying, man, this tea tastes like muddy leaves boiled. No.
No,
I mean that
it's good for you actually to rake some leaves around and get some of
Yeah.
that stuff in your lungs. It's like
it smells like wet leaves that need to be raked.
yeah, smells like life is happening there, and that there is some decomposing of those leaves that is actually really nice to absorb when you're doing that. It's like I think that's part of like that's I need to stop saying like so much. There is a drinking game. Every time I say like, you guys have to drink tea, of course, or take a hit from the bong. Every time I say like, counting that one that I just said, you have to take a hit from the bong
And drink tea.
and drink tea.
And take a sip. So I see one of those leaves right there, because I think it's very unclear what kind of leaves. May I go grab that leaf?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. We can go and grab things that we think we're smelling. It is not
This leaf.
yeah, those are maple leaves. So maple leaf pile raking in fall is what he is talking about. And
There's a pile there.
in the shade.
Yeah, it's been in the shade.
In the shade. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's been hiding behind a little wall that never.
And you can
It's
feel that in the back of your mouth. It's crazy. Yeah, this I definitely. Oh, Jesus! I am glad that I didn't put like really hot water in here. I'm gonna go show the. I have to jump the.
Yeah. Try not to spill the tea.
Yes, well, it will be good TV for sure. Yeah, get a new guy one. All right. Here, let's see. Can you even see it? Oh yeah, you can. It's a lot of leaf material. There's not much twigs at all. I can see some bud, a little bit. The liquor, whoop. It's a little cloudy, but it might have to do with the fact that I broke it apart a lot. I know. I definitely overstepped it. I was just waiting for your face.
Anyway.
Well, it's valuable to oversteep this anyways, because it gets you, some part of the profile that you wouldn't get it otherwise. It was a timing steep. It wasn't that hot of a steep. It was just the water.
It tastes like coffee without milk and sugar. You know, when you first have coffee? No?
Nah.
No, it's just the bitterness, not the taste.
Yeah, I just kind of like the feeling you get when you just get. But I like that taste of coffee without nothing. So I don't know. I would place it more into something that is kind of like propolis. When you put propolis on your throat, the drop of propolis, and it's like, But this is the experiment we're gonna do. A lot of teas, you oversteep them like that, and if they're not very astringent, if they don't have a lot of that green that needed to be killed, you can put hot water in them, dilute them, and it will recover it. And that happens with black tea, with show up water. So we'll put some like bubbling water there. You can see it was crazy water, like I call it, because it was bubbling when it was being put out there. And we'll see this.
It's getting kind of cold out here.
Yeah, it's the sun went away. So let's see. Just a couple of this is if I record it by just doing that. I don't want to over steep this one because it's hot water.
Man, yeah. After breaking it up, it definitely has a lot of floating
Leaves. So tell me how that one worked out. Do you feel that extremely
Nope.
bitter? Anything?
It's just the taste without the bitterness.
Okay, so it balanced out very well.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you over steep this Sheng, like I just did, put some just water in it. Okay, so would you buy it?
Me?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is your palate still too attached to show and to things like, you know, more wet storage?
I don't know.
I think it's pretty good. I'm not sure what the price is, but it's gonna be between $80 to $170, which is kind of like how all those cakes are. The only one that is 500 grams is the 2007 high one.
Which that is worth it.
That's definitely awesome. But that means that all other cakes are gonna be an imperial Bing, which is 357 grams. They're gonna be smaller, so anything else is gonna be more expensive than high one.
Yeah.
This is less tea.
The 2007 high one is the best asparagus tasting thing that you'll ever have.
It doesn't taste like asparagus.
It has a little bit of the like that kind of thing, but it's like
You know when people like when drink again or hit the bong. You know when people have uh they say, you know, green tea, they hand you a green tea on a tea bag and they just like left it there and it's bitter. It kind of has a bitter flavor. Like oversteeped old green tea. That's kind of how I felt when we drank it, like in oversteeped. Um, but now it's pretty good. I mean, I actually like the profile a lot. It's very thirst quenching. It did get astringent with oversteeping, but so it's a definitely like a sensitive tea. You know, depending on how you like it. And I like some astringency, some bitterness, but I'm not a particular fan of like uh, things being too intense. So I'm putting the water directly on the tea leaves right now instead of.
So that changed the flavor.
You feel that it's a little bit sweeter, right?
Yeah, it's like better.
Better or bitter?
Better.
What's better for you?
It has less of that like back of the tongue sourness and bitterness. It's more like soft.
Yeah, so that musty or kind of like hit the bong again. The
That doesn't apply to me, right?
of course not. You're a minor. This YouTube channel is not for kids. It features my son, but we just making jokes.
No. I mean, if I said like
Like that was two more. He said it. I said it. Also, no, it's when I say it. It's
Yeah.
unfair if you say it.
That's what I was asking. Not if I hit the bong.
Well, you can say
like-
something, and they have to do push-ups. I mean, we can be like a health, you know, encouraging.
If I
kind of
cuss,
thing.
do 20 push-ups.
Do you hear that? That's You just can't hear all these birds, but it's like all kinds of birds. So there is an owl.
Oh yeah, there's one like out there or out there. I don't know where the sun's coming from, but yeah, I've been hearing it.
That's where the sun sets. It already set.
Well, I guess you're gonna see like kind of afternoon to now nighttime, the process in one video. Yeah, so it's out there.
You see the army of robins we have right now on the lawn?
American robins, yeah, bouncing around. Love how they run through the fields. I think they're only around us.
No, they're all the way there.
Oh, there's one over there.
So I would say that this tea needs attention when you're brewing it.
It's not a very
It's not
social.
it's not very permissive. I think it's social depending who you drink it with, but you're right that it will not be for like just random beginners. It will be for someone who knows about tea.
Definitely.
That would appreciate it.
I think that,
but once you get the hold of it, get the hang of it, is very nice. You know, I actually think that I would buy it too. I would buy all the teas from Mr Mopar. You know what? That's what I would do. If I had the money, I would buy the 13 cakes he has in stock, each one of them. And then I won't talk to them for like 20 years till I'm done drinking that. No, but
said like again.
So go ahead and give me the money, and I will buy them. Now the wind's going the other direction. This is how it is here, you know. It's getting a little cold. I think I'm gonna
This place,
do one more
is
steep.
very conducive to Murphy's Law.
Why is that?
It's like you just set it up so it doesn't do that, and then it moves so that it does do that.
Yeah.
I like how somehow everything froze. Like it rained, everything was wet, and it all froze. Everything was encased in ice.
It was so cold. I really wanted to make a puar thing, because like just being outside, it made it so, you know, vapor came out of your mouth, steam come out of things, so it would have been beautiful, you know, with a nice light or background. But it was so cold, man. Like I tried to do it, and I just was like, I'm just gonna take a shot with holding the pot here and then go back inside, you know. My ears were falling off. But this is a pretty good tea.
Yeah.
Actually,
So I've decided, yeah, I would buy this. You know,
I think that my next one is that 2003 Mengai. No, Mengsa, I think it is. I'll write it down here. And because that was the other one we were like, oh, this is awesome. It's a little bit more like everyone friendly, instead of like just kind of trying to figure it out a tea, and then maybe it's a little bit too bitter or astringent or whatever. But this one definitely, if I was gonna buy it, I would probably put it away with more humidity and see where it goes from there, you know.
Yeah.
Some people don't like wet storage, you know, cakes that are that mature. They actually like having this kind of profile, you know. And so some will say like, what are you doing, putting some what is it called, humidity packs in that Mylar bag? You know. And that has to do with how you keep those cakes in the perfect shape. You know what I was gonna say also? This creek was very active last season, remember?
yeah, it was way higher.
Yeah, there was a lot of water going, and this time it's not. I'm not looking forward to a dry summer. That's not fun.
Well, I think that we may have missed it though. I think because when the snow melts
That's when it really.
is when it was doing that. But it was
But
also
I
during.
remember it even when everything was green around us, like all the grass started to get green and everything, and this thing was maybe because if you remember, like in summer rains a lot.
Yeah.
You know that
And it
we have
hasn't rained that
the
much.
storms.
Yeah.
You know
So
the we will be out here and then suddenly, bah, you know, thunder, and immediately.
like in the cartoons
Yeah, that's true.
when
It
like
happens.
when those cartoon characters are in like the scary haunted house, like at the front of the haunted house, and it's like big and scary, and then crack, boom, and it starts raining.
Just
That's what
like that.
happened. It's
Just
literally
like
what
that.
happened.
You have like 30 seconds, you know, to get under something.
Boom.
Yeah. We were doing something here with the lawnmower and the other tractor. We were doing something, whatever it was, I don't remember. And then, you know, we're like, uh-oh. And started going, and they're like, you know, they're slow. And halfway, just completely drenched, you know, all the way up into the tip of the socks. Yeah, with the dog, all wet too. Yeah.
That's funny. That was a funny thing.
Okay, this is the last step because I am actually getting super cold.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying not to be like, on
Yeah,
camera.
I'm gonna brave it. I'm gonna put this crazy water. It's crazy because it's still bubbling, even though it's not on the fire. So I call it crazy. It hasn't calmed down.
Man, it is beautiful.
It is a beautiful. It is a beautiful sunset for sure. Yeah, and I see the back. I see that. I'm gonna put this here.
It's a nice background.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
always wonder if those birdhouses actually ever have birds in them.
They do. They have nests. If you go look at them, there's a little door you can open and look inside. But when you hear that there are birds, you don't want to be looking inside. You look inside, you know, in the winter time. Maybe still good now, but I wouldn't go bothering them now.
I want to get
You
pecked
see,
in the eye by a random sparrow.
yeah, I mean, it's not. It's just not nice, you know. They freak out and they may kill the little birds. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah,
But
it's cold.
Yeah.
It feels real good, but this is where I drop my line of just reality check. It doesn't feel like something very special. It'll be like, whoa,
it's
you know.
not. It's not a black phoenix. It's not a duck shizzy.
No, and I mean, it is what it is, but um, I don't know much about Sheng, so this is a learning process, you know, and you know the appreciation for these cakes is gonna come with time.
Yeah. What I like about the tea, it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not complicated flavor. It has one flavor throughout, and it can be bitter or not bitter. It's very basic, and I like that. It's a basic tea. I'm not saying that it's like.
Yeah, you can
Know.
pinpoint like 3 flavors in there, and then be like, and the rest is just
Tea.
Sheng, you know, like all Sheng.
Yeah.
Which
It's
tastes great, but there's not a lot to say about so it's not nutty anything. It's very woody. Um, there is no more fruit. I mean, the first smell of the leaves was fruity, but nothing in the actual tea itself. But it has that very like nice warmth of Sheng. That is the thing that you want to experience of Sheng. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it than just that. You know, because I don't. I can't recall anything else but the experience of drinking Sheng that has that. And in terms of how I feel very sharp and kind of like motivated to do things, like go put away my clothes and stuff like that, that I wouldn't otherwise be motivated to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like the kind of tea. I say this a lot, but it's the kind of tea I would study and drink too. Like if I'm studying for a big test, I would also drink this tea while I do that.
You feel the sharpness in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't give it a very awesome glory with putting away my underwear, but
So this is the kind of tea that I
but
would
it'll
drink
make
before
you
putting
do
away my
stuff that you
underwear.
don't want to do otherwise. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
It's a tea that you drink for energy before chores.
I count like 50 ramen there. Anyhow, well, thank you for your patience and observing us or listening to us drinking tea. We're trying to like put a nice background to things, and yeah, we'll give you a little bit of a
Yeah, show them the robins if possible.